Hey everybody, we are doing part 2 of our Christmas Victorian journal. So I hope you guys have seen part 1, but if you haven't, the link is up above. You might want to watch that one first. So let's have a look. Hey everybody, it's Renee here, and we are back working on our journal, and this is our Christmas journal using a ledger. Hopefully you saw the first video. It's getting pretty thick, so I don't know that I want to put a ton more stuff in it, but we're going to continue trudging on and adding some things. I will be binding it, just closing it up when we're done with a ribbon, but I don't want to make it too tight because we don't want our spine to break. So let's go back and we'll start adding some things. There will be a part 3, which will be our flip through. So that will be coming down the road too. So let's have a look. So with this journal, it is, like I said, an old secretary's ledger. We will maybe, as I showed in the first part, add a few things onto here because, like I said, I kept the first part, which was, I am guessing should have been like an address book or a phone book or whatever, but they actually wrote different things in here. This journal, from what I gather looking through it, is from the 50s. I did find something with a date on it at some point here, 1956. Yeah, 1956 up here as well. So it's from the 50s. I might add the odd little thing on here, maybe even like, once we cut it out and ink it, like a picture or something. I'm not really sure yet, but we will go back to that. So we're going to keep flipping through and working on adding some bits. And like I said, I don't want to add too many bits because we don't want to get it too thick. There's lots and lots of room for journaling in this. And I just put this here, I showed this in the last video, just to make myself aware that it is a pocket so we can go through and add something after. It won't be just this white card. We can add a few things in here. This, I put this in last video, but this is so we can hang something from it. So if you're wondering why I put that in, we're going to hang something from it. And like I had said before too, I don't like usually once I have something that's a full picture, full page with graphics on it, putting something on the other side. I tend to use that for journaling. This we will be putting a picture down or a stamp of some kind. Yeah, so we are going to continue working on with this. We are in the last half of our second signature, as this is a 2-signature album or journal, sorry, but there's quite a few pages in here. So I believe I said in the last one 60, and that is front to back, so there's 60 in here. And we could add some more lace trims and things on the sides and beautify it that way. So this is what we're going to do. So let's get cracking, and we are going to start adding some of our bits. I have so much fun with these. They're just so much fun to make. And as I mentioned in the last video, I have a couple more journals coming. The next one will be a coil bound journal. And then we will have a Lorna Taylor journal coming after that. I also have one on the tapes, the vintage tapes that we made. So that will also be another video coming for anybody that has never made those. So you'll want to subscribe and hit that bell notification and the like if you've never done any of those. I'm putting in right now my scrap trinkets, rusty paper clips right now. We can always change these out and put different ones. I have many different kinds of paper clips, so, or different clips period, so we can put those in. Put that in there for now. Like I said, we've got different little bags, so we can like accessorize some of these. Sorry, I've got such a mess here because I've got so many things going on. I'm not normally a messy crafter. Really am not. I'm a little bit anal about that actually. One thing I had thought of we could do, I have an open pack and a sealed pack, but it's the Tim Holtz fringe. So we could even add some of this on there. This reminds me of like vintage fringe, so we could add some of these in. That's another idea. We've got lots of washi, lots I have that I haven't even put aside here. I've also got some of this, and we will be adding some of these. Don't know which color yet, but we've got these corrugated papers. So we've got black, white, and craft. So we could put those in there. I might maybe use the craft. And we've got our doily. But like I said, I'm trying not to get this too thick just because I don't want it to break the binding on our book. So we're going to do that. One thing we could do too is if you have Wink of Stella or you have stickles is on some of these, and we could do that after because they do take quite a while to dry. Put them in the middle or even on some of the petals or the leaves. Okay, so in this one, because I have a double page of no graphics, we will be adding something onto this. So let's see what we have here. I'm just playing around. We're making some things as we go. Some things I've already made. We might add some tags because we're making tags out of Tim Holtz. I used that as a tag base, just traced around it and made some tags. So you can reuse stuff that way by making tags out of that. We're going to add some stamps. We can even, like as I showed in the first video, make some things to add using our die cuts or our embossing folders. This was, I think this is Tim Holtz, but I turned it into a tag so we can put ribbon in that after. This is a Tim Holtz picture. So we can put that in there. And this is deli paper. So we've got a little bit of room to work with here and things to add. So I'm going to leave that there for now. We're coming to our double page. So here, I'm going to just move some stuff over. This is a Christmas recipe. I'm going to ink this, and I'm going to just put this in one of our slots. I thought this was really cool. This to me, and I might cut off this piece right here. This to me almost looks like it is from the 40s or 50s. We have this nice red doily we can add. We've got window envelope we can add. I kind of want to use a smaller one just because of the scale of our book. And there are some stamps I had thought about using in here. So let's have a look and see what we have. This one I'm going to use in my next journal because that goes really well with the theme. We have doily, we have this. These were some of the ones I was contemplating. So we have this one, which is really neat. It's like a postcard image with a house in the background. This one is a train, which is also very Christmassy. This is just the back of a postcard, so that's something that we can use, but I think I may have used it in this one already. And then we get into, that's a die, nice embossing folder. This is a cozy knit, which is neat. Thinlits, so we could use this too. This is just dies of like, well, it says crochet, but it, like, great for the edges. So we can use those. And then we have all of our Lorna Taylor stamps so we can use as well, which I think I showed you in the last video, but I will show you again. There's the Mercantile. This one, which is really, really neat. It says Winter's Greetings, which I might use in the next one because, or one of the other ones, because it is a winter journal. And then this is this stamp here. It says Post, December 25th. So we could maybe use that as well. And I think I have some other ones as well as those. So I have so many different things we can use. It's like I said before, Christmas is my probably #1 thing I have of. Like, I have so much Christmas stuff. and lots of vintage things we're going to put in these. So here's another one, sleigh rides. Again, I can use that in the winter one. I can use it in this one, whichever one works. Little envelopes, we might use that. And then I have some of these vintage postcards, which I love. This one is from 1921 and this one's from 1911. So we will add some of these. So yeah, we got nothing but stuff to add. So let's get cracking. So I pulled out some things that we can maybe use. And we can maybe go from there. There's so many options because we have so many things that we can use. So with this, I am just going to trim up the bottom part and take off that last little bit. Okay, so there's that. And now I'm going to, do I want to use vintage photo or ground espresso? I kind of go back and forth between the two of them. So I'm just going to lightly ink up the edges. And sometimes I go a little bit off to try and kind of give that illusion a little bit of maybe some foxing. And for those of you that don't know what foxing is, it's like the brown spots, I guess, that get aged onto old papers. Try and make it look like there's a little bit of wear on these. They're just vintage. Even though the image itself is right from an old cookbook from ages ago, but this is just printed. This is a print of something old. So that's probably good enough. So I'll leave that there for now. And then I'm just going to fold it. Sometimes on these, I will actually print them on old parchment. But in this case, I didn't. Go back this way. I'll maybe do it this way. Like that. Just because then the back side isn't white. So sometimes I do that. Sometimes I ink them. I also have a digital file. It's from Tailor Made Journals that has like brown background. It looks like it's foxed and it's vintage. So sometimes I'll turn around my prints in my printer and print them with that. So we are going to put this, just maybe we'll turn it this way so you can see the Christmas pudding. So there is that. This one here, I'm still waffling on that one. So we're gonna go to our double page here. And this one, I think what I'm going to do, there's that on that side, and this is an empty one. So I'm thinking I'm going to put this on this side. So we're going to fold this in half. You can get out your bone folder if you want a nice crisp, clean fold. And do that. I'm going to put that like that for now. And then I'm going to stamp this image or the train image. One of these, they're both so nice. I might do this house. This one almost looks more vintage-like. Oh, it's a tough call. Yeah, maybe I'll do this one. I'm going to stamp that and I'm going to put it onto some cardstock and then just put this over here. So we're going to do that next. So sometimes I might speed up the process so you're not just sitting there in limbo watching me ink up something or cut something. So this might be one of those times. So I've grabbed this old craft cardstock. It's just a little bit of stuff that I had from before. And I am going to ink it up with some VERSAFINE CLAIR. And I am going to choose for this. So I want it really inky. I think I'm going to use the Nocturne, which is black. So I'll do this. We'll see how this works. This is a great ink. It's nice and juicy. And I love VERSAFINE CLAIR inks. If you haven't tried them, I really recommend trying them. One thing I like about this is it's very easy to see on your stamped image everywhere that's been inked. And this one has a lot of areas to ink. I'm just making sure I got everywhere. So I don't want to miss any. With this one, it's kind of hard in some areas because there's a lot of little dotty areas on here. So I'm trying to make sure that I get them all. Hopefully I'm not shaking the camera on the table too much. I think I got everything, so let's give this a whirl and see how it works. I hope it's good enough. Okay, so this one, I'm just going to give it a little wipe off. All right, so this one I'm going to just shove down. And this is, I believe, a Stampendous stamp. And from what I understand, they don't make Stampendous anymore. I think somebody bought them out. I don't know who it was, can't remember. But this was a Stampendous stamp. Oh, I like how that turned out. I really like that. So then we can cut this out and ink up the sides. And I'm going to freehand cut this one out. Just grab my scissors, they're underneath here somewhere. Amongst all my stuff. There they are. You could use your paper trimmer. I'm just going to wing it this time. Okay, so that. Now I'm going to ink up the baby. And we are going to use our ground espresso, our Distress Archival ink, because I don't think that the vintage photo would show up as much. See, look how Lawson that looks. Okay, like how this one turned out. Okay, so we have that. And then I thought about this. This is a Tim Holtz, but you could use any kind of wood style paper. It has that on the background. I didn't really want to use that if I don't have to, but I thought this might be kind of neat. We'll see what it's like for contrast with our doily. Maybe do it like that, don't know. One thing I had thought about is making this like a double pocket, so you put stuff underneath here and then under here. But at the same time, we already have the problem with getting, you know, putting too much in our journal so it doesn't pop out too much. So that is a thought as well. We could put that in there. It's, you know, it's something I've thought about though, like with getting this all a little too thick. For our binder, for our spine, but I mean, let's do it. Let's put in that pocket. You don't have to put stuff in it, but it's there at least. Can't hurt, right? So we're gonna do our 3 sides. Leave that opening up top for the pocket so you can put stuff in it. And we're using our Sukwang tape. All right. I do have some, you know, older things that I thought we could even put in if there's room. We can see. So I'm going to do it like this, lower it a little bit. I don't want to lower it too much though, so I don't want it to look weird in case you don't use it as a pocket and you're thinking, wow, what the heck, like why is it so low? So, all right. I think this is going to be too wide for our page, so we're probably going to have to thin it out, definitely. Okay, so again, I'm just freehanding. On this one, I haven't done any rounded corners, but you could do rounded corners if you wanted to. Okay, this is cutting it close with the edges. Maybe just a slight bit more. And then I'm going to cut some off the bottom as well. Hopefully you guys are getting all your shopping done and having a good Christmas. As I'm doing this right now, it is snowing out. I'm not a huge fan of winter, to be completely honest, but it does look pretty. Okay, so there is that. And now what I'm going to do is just grab our circle punch. I have tons of different sizes of circle punches. This is, I believe, a 1.5. So I'm just going to do it like that. And then we've got our opening. Perfect. So I am going to do it like that, or should we do it like this? Put it on this side. And then we put stuff here. Should we do that? Let's do that. And then I got some ideas. We've got some stickers here, so we can pop those down below and decorate this a little bit more even. So we'll do that, and then we are going to adorn this as well. So we're going to grab our sequin tape again, and again we're going to do the 3 sides. So the side that we punched, we're going to leave that unsticky. All right. That. Okay, I'm going to have to apologize now because you're probably going to hear background noise in my video because my next door neighbors, snow removal people, are here. So it's probably going to be loud. I might even just bleep out this part with the sound and put some music in. So if that's what you hear, it's because it got loud. So now I'm going to put these in here. These are Tim Holtz. snow blowers are gone. And I am now sticking down our Christmas balls. And this sometimes can get tricky just to hold it there. There we go. Slowly adhering. Hopefully. I have to say, Christmas is probably, like, making Christmas journals my favorite theme of journals to make. I have so many on the go right now that I have not shown you guys yet that I will be showing you. Some of those themes are, I have a seaside one, I have a sunflower one, I have a bee one, I have a summer one, I have a farm one, and they're all on the go right now, so those are all coming up. So you will want to make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notification for those upcoming videos. And if you like my videos, I really appreciate when you guys actually click that like button, because it really does help me out, and I'm forever grateful when you do it, because it helps me out too. Okay, so I think that's stuck down now. It feels like it is. Hopefully it is. All right, so one other thing that we have is part of this, and this is part of, I believe this one was ArtyMaze, and the links to the descriptions of, in the description are the links to the different kits that I did use, and I believe there's 2 in this one. I used ArtyMaze, and I use tailor-made journals, and some of the stamps, as I've mentioned, are also tailor-made journals, so it's not just some of the images and things too. And then a lot of the other stuff was either stuff that was purchased in the scrapbook store, which I'm not endorsed for, so I haven't advertised those, or a lot of vintage stuff, a lot of vintage things that I've accumulated over time. So this one I kind of like, because we're going to turn this into a little fold. So that will go into our book as well. And these were neat images. I liked this kit. It was really neat. Whenever I post my videos and I use digital kits, I post the links to the different digital kits or the creators down in my description, so make sure you check those out. Help out all these amazing artists on Etsy and see all the awesome stuff that they've created that you can also download and use yourself. If you don't want to do that, well, you can just purchase my journal, which will also be for sale in Etsy after video number 3 when we do the flip through. So you'll want to make sure that you get on that. If you want it already, you can also message me before it even hits that point, or email me at createandplaywithrenee@gmail.com, and I will tell you how much I am charging for it. Shipping is also on top of that as well. So there's that. So see, look how easy that is. And then we'll just, I'm just gonna move this over just a shade bit more. Yeah. And then this. So it's a neat little pocket. And you can put your goodies inside, and you can either close it or just leave it. For now, I'm going to close, or I'm going to leave it like this, just because I don't exactly know what all I'm going to put in this one. So we will do that shortly, but I will put it into our journal because that will go down the road. Okay, so we have that. Go back to this one. So this one here, I'm thinking I might want to put a person on it. Person or persons. I put a lot of women on our different little creations. So why don't we add a man this time? So we are going to add a man, I think. So I tend to be using a lot of ladies. But you know what? Actually, maybe I can't because there's already women on here. So maybe we need to use a woman. And then we'll add a man to something else. Trying to find very Christmassy looking images. That is so cute, but the kids don't go with that. That might be an idea. I was kind of looking for like a winter jacket. It looks like it's just kind of a fur throw. Maybe that would work too. I don't know. These are all our Tim Holtz old images. That's kind of the same idea. Okay, so let's just stick with this one. And I am going to I kind of want to put something behind so it's not just so an image in your face, if that makes sense. What can we put here? No, that doesn't really work. We need to put let's see, what do we have for papers? We got lots of papers. We have so many things we can use, it's not even funny. Yeah, like, I've got so many things. We could use that. I heard the bells on Christmas Day. Okay, let's cut this in half, or cut it where the song switches. Because I've used Joy to the World already. This one here, is Our Lady going to be tall enough? We can even do it that way. Okay, so I am going to cut this. Normally I would rip it, but I'm not going to in this case. And I'm going to cut off some of the ends. Okay, so we're going to give it a little ink. Oh, we need to re-ink. So let's re-ink this guy. And some of these Tim Holtz old ladies, sounds bad, but you can colorize, and I might after I'm done. I don't know. Some of them I might just leave them. There might be some accents on different things I colorize. We'll see. So if we put that like that, and put this pretty lady here, that kind of just gives the background I was kind of going for. So let's give it some glue with our glue stick. Okay, so we're going to pop that down. There we go. And now we're going to stick the lady on. Same thing. I could use my art glitter glue as well. Whichever one you choose to use is fine. You could use Suquang if you wanted to. Suquang would be hard because it's like straight, but you can use whatever adhesive. I know a lot of people like Tombow. You can use whichever one you want. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there, and like I said, you can add different tags or whatever you want to go in there. For now, I'm just going to leave it, and I am going to clip this just so it doesn't fall out for now. I'm going to use this clip. This is just temporary. Okay. So we have a lot of those things in here. This one, we've stuck our Christmas balls on. That's going to be the flip side. This one I am going to leave because this one has an image. These are double images. And like I said, you can always go in here afterwards with your with your stickles or your Wink of Stella and, you know, add some pretty stuff, and I probably will. Here. So we get to here. And I put this in here. This is one of our vintage postcards from 1911. So we could pop that in there. We could even put these in one of our other pockets that we made. And then add this as well. So this is our little pocket that you can add things into. And we are going to just, again, it's a temporary thing. We're going to clip this in until we know what we want to do with it. This one, I definitely wanted to put something here because I'm trying to cover up where that stamp was. So we are going to put something here. And we can make a small, like that, a small little pocket, or we could just put that there and maybe add some other things out the side. Like we could even put some washi here. So what do we have for washi? I'm going to try and pull something that I haven't used yet. And I kind of like the look of this because it kind of goes a little bit with the font of that. So I'm going to stick this down. I'm going to go off the edge because I am going to cut it. And then I'm just going to give it a rip because we can always cut it after. So that is done, and now I'm going to just attach this. And again, we're going to use our Sukwang because this will be a mini pocket. And I'm going to give it a little cut so it's easier to pull it out of the pocket, whatever we put in there. Okay, so again, you're going to do 3 sides, not the side that we did our half circle. There we go. And then one more. Whoops, now it's stuck to me. All right, so now we're going to pull those off. And get this off here. Oh, goodness me. Okay, there we go. And do that one. This one's hard because this is the 3mm, so it's harder to get off. I also have no fingernails, as you can see. I got rid of my fingernails, so this is more functioning for me. Maybe eventually I'll get my nails back on, but temporarily I am not. Okay, so, oh man, oh man. Hopefully you guys won't have the same struggle. Okay, so now I will pop that on like that. And there we go. So there's that. And then we'll just trim off this edge. Okay, so that's done. And then same with this side. Okay, so that's done. And with this one, you could do certain little things like this. You can pop that on there if you wanted to. It's got the string hanging, or we could put this somewhere else. We also have our bottle caps. So that is another option. We have all those bottle caps that we had. So let's see what we have for those. We have all these ones, but again, it's going to add thickness. So I don't really want to add those because of the thickness factor. We have lots of little round images too. So maybe we can try one of them. You could pop dot it, you could do a lot of different things to raise it, but again, then we're in the same predicament we were before with getting things too thick. Okay, or we can add some foliage. Got lots of different things here. Some of this foliage is too big. You could add a washi sticker, you could add a whole bunch of different things. So, like that. We might come back to that to add something until I find the right thing I want to add. So we do know that though that is a pocket. This isn't what I want to add, but it gives you an idea anyway. So that's a pocket. So then here we come to this one. This is just sitting here, it's not attached. But this is a folder that I've made previous. And I really like this folder. I thought it turned out really neat. So there's that. You could turn this into a little book and put some papers in it, and I might do that and then just stick it in here as an added. So it will just be in here, but it's going to be a little book. So I kind of like the look of that. And then that is the end of our book. So let's see if we've missed any pages with some of our adornments. So there's that. This we still need to add something, so I'm just going to mark it. We'll put that in there so I know that we have to come back to that. Some of these are going to have some trims and things, but I'm going to leave it for the lucky person who winds up buying it. I'm going to have a bag of trims, and then they can just pick which trims they want to put where. This will need something in it, so I'm going to put that there. This one's kind of empty as well. This is a vintage old envelope, and I'm going to put some stuff in there, so I'm going to leave that there. So we are going to, that's another one we need to put stuff in. This is, okay, this is exactly it. I wanted to put something here, so we can put our men here. So where are some of those men that we had? I wanted to add some vintage men on here, because most of our book is women. We could add another picture too. We have all our pictures. A lot of those are skiing. And again, I didn't want to have too new of stuff because I'm trying to keep this true to the time frame, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Okay, so let's try and find some men. That might work. Okay. Actually, you know what? Most of these are women. So let's do that. Let's use these men, and I am going to use our art glitter glue for this one. After I take the bubble off the end. There we go. Very cool. Like it. Like it a lot. Okay. Just gonna move that up there a little bit. And this does dry clear for any of you who haven't used it before. So you're wondering, like, why is she putting so much glue on? It does dry clear. Okay, so there's our fellas. Love that. And this journal, like I said, has so many empty spots where you can still go and journal or add your own take on things or whatever it might be. So with this one, I'm going to add some sentiments or some stickers. I'm not going to add the flowers because some people might think that's too girlish. I personally don't, but some people might. I'm going to add this little piece of paper. I'm going to rip it off first and stick some art glitter glue on it. Okay, just a thin line because that will spread out. So we'll go like that. There we go. So we have that there. And I am going to, that's bonbons, cough drops, music note. We already have music paper. Let's see. Should we just put the Christmas on there? Because I have ideas for the other things. Let's see what this looks like. We could even add, because this was the other side of that paper, like that and that. Let's maybe do that. So we'll do that, and then we will add a little strip of glue again, and then we will pop that down like that. Get rid of our excess glue, and now we will add our Christmas sticker. Just trying to figure out where to put this. Maybe there. And moved it over a little bit, so we're going to cut the edge off, which is fine. Okay, so that is gone. And what else do we need? I almost feel like we need a little something else. That look weird there? Maybe. We might come back and add a little something else there, so we'll wait and see about that. Okay, so that one we can leave. Again, we're trying to keep just one side with something on it. This we need to add a little something. Kind of the same idea as before. I'm going to put the sticker here. And we will maybe add a little something else here. Maybe some holly or something. Kind of like the look of that. That's kind of neat. One thing I didn't add in here yet that I'd like to add in our book, so we'll have to go back and do that, is I don't have a belly band, and I tend to usually put a belly band in my journals. So we can go back and add a belly band and maybe some more ribbon on the edge somewhere. Okay, I wanted to add something on this, so we need to do that. I'll just put the stickers in there to remind us of that. This we need to hang something, so I'm going to go and grab some of our charms and hang a charm there. This one, same thing, we need a little something there. And I have lots of folders and things, but I don't know that I want to have a folder. We have this, so maybe I'll ink that up and put that in there. Same thing. Our thing we were going to put in there. So I think we might make a tag, so I'm going to leave that there. These ones are done. Move it around a little bit in our deli paper. This one's done. This I want to put a little something there because that had a little tear. So we can maybe do something like that. That would work. I am, because of this is so lightweight, and I don't want it to buckle because of the moisture from the glue, I am going to use a glue stick on this one because it's so lightweight. Alright, so we're going to pop that in there to cover up that oopsie. See, like this is so lightweight, sometimes it doesn't stick overly well. Okay, so we'll stick that down, and then just from the weight of the other papers, it should be fine. This needs a little something as well. I don't know, come up with something. come up with something. Don't know what that is yet. That's our thing there. This is done. Coming up with an idea for a belly band. Stuff to put our sentiment there. Might put a little something here. Okay, I like that. Let's do that. I'm going to stick this down. Add our glue. Kind of have it like that so it overlaps a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna just close that for now. We've got our girl there. This has some stuff in it. That one. Okay, so we could do, because this is a double thing here, as well as that, but this one's lighter weight. We could do a belly band here, so let's do that. I'm just going to put this down here for just weight, and we're going to do a belly band. I was going to use this paper for a belly band, but it's just a slight bit too short. So, I think I'm going to use this one. So we're going to go like that. I'm just going to measure it, and now I'm going to trim it up so we can make it the right size. Okay, so here is our paper for our belly band. It's a slight bit too long still, so I'm just going to trim off the edge. Okay, and now I'm going to give it a little ink. And some people I've seen have put ribbons and trims and things along the edges of their belly band, and you can do that. I'm not on this one just because, again, of our thickness factor, so that is an issue. So I don't want to make it too thick. Okay, so I am going to, with this one, I am using Sukwang for this. You could use a thicker Sukwang. I'm still using just the 3mm. But you could use a thicker one for sure. So there's that. Then we're going to put it on this end. And there we go. And now we're going to pop that off. Alrighty. So stick this to the top of our page and to the bottom. We left a slight bit of room, but that's okay. Alright, so with this now, I have this, and this is part of this kit, and that will go in here, but first thing I gotta do is trim it up. So I'm gonna trim it up for us. So that. So now that I've trimmed it up, I'm going to give this one another ink as well. Just open this up, and this again is the ground espresso. And this is a trifold. The thing is with this, I did this on lighter weight paper because I knew I was going to use it as a trifold, but you wouldn't have to. You could use it on thicker paper and cut out each individual section and use that in your creations as well. So there's a lot of different things you can use. With this one, I just left it like this because I thought you could journal on the back. You could do whatever you wanted to do. And this is done on a parchment paper. So this is on a nice weight of parchment. And give it another little bit of inking. And I'm only going to ink this side. I'm not going to ink the other side. And we are done. Okay, so put our lid back on our ink. And we did our little cutout. And then this can go in here. Hopefully it fits. Might have to trim off a little bit more if it doesn't. Yeah, and that is what we're going to do. So I'm going to trim it off of the bottom. It's just still a slight bit too long. And then we'll give it another little ink. Ink, ink, ink. Sometimes these things happen. Okay, so that will slide into there. And again, once you get some more things, you could also slide that in. But again, we're going for watching that thickness factor. All right, so we have that. We will add our Wink of Stella and our stickles if we need it. This one is another one where I thought we could add a picture. Something like that I thought was so stinking cute. I had contemplated whether I was going to stitch it first, but I changed my mind. So I'm just going to trim around the edges, give it another little ink again. And with this one, I might use our vintage tape as well. So we'll give this one a little ink. Don't need anything much, just a little bit. Okay, that's probably good. And I am going to use the glue stick for this. All right, so there's the glue stick. Glue stick, and now we are going to add our vintage tape. So we've got that. I'm just going to add one there and one there, so I just only need the little ones. I'm going to grab this slice and I'm going to slice it into two. And with these, add just a little bit of your glitter glue, whatever dries clear. Pop that on there. And like I said, there will be a video on how to make your own soon. And once that is actually released, I might link it onto here, but it will be after this video. Didn't realize so many people wanted me to make a video on that, but I actually have already made it. It just hasn't been loaded yet. Okay, so there's that. I like the look of that. We have this with our trim. Same thing, we need something here. So what do you think we should add? Should we add like something like that? I don't really want to use that because I want to see the back, but we could add something like this where you could put something out the side, something like that. Let's see. We have that. That's pretty. Let's maybe do that. We will ink the edges. So we're going to ink that up, and we will do another pocket. There we go. Maybe I won't turn this into a pocket. I will just adhere it back on here. So I am going to cover this whole thing. that and that, and now I'm going to put this in here. Okay, so just give this all. Again, we're trying to take off the backing of our Sukwang, which normally isn't so difficult, but because it's smaller width, and I have no fingernails, not always easy. Let's try and take this off. Got one end off. I just got to do the other one. And these two. There we go. And that one. All right, so I'll pop that up and we will stick this down. Okay, that looks pretty. So we can always go in and add something with some holly or something in here just to give it some color. And I do have some stamps, and I do have, this is the spray, but the new, well, here we go, the Lumberjack Plaid from Tim Holtz. So we can go in and add some maybe berries or something in there. So we can maybe come back and do that after. This again, we can leave this one, unless we want to really add something to that, we could. Those ones, I think we're pretty much getting full. This one, same thing, we could maybe add a stamp or a sentiment, so we might do that. I'm going to mark that one because we can add a stamp to that. We have a whole bunch of Tim Holtz sayings and sentiments and things. This one is another one where there's nothing on this one, so we can add something to here, so I will mark that. So this is what we still have to create. This, I'm going to leave that like that. This has some goodies in it. And then we're here. So here with these ones, again, these have nothing in them. I might even just leave this for whoever the lucky buyer is, and they can put their own take on these pages. So I will include in a little pouch some more little goodies and things that they can add into here if they choose to do so. So that is another option for whoever buys this journal. So how thick are we getting? We're getting pretty thick, friends. So once we add our little takes onto these, that is pretty much going to be it. So let's work on to the next step, and we're going to finish up this journal. Okay, everybody, I have now created a bunch of different things in my journal. I actually made a bunch of stuff that I didn't show, so when we do the flip through, it'll be more of a surprise. So I'm going to flip through this now. We're going to add some Wink of Stella. I've got gold and I've got the clear silver. We're just going to add a little bit of this to a few of our things. I think I'm going to grab the clear first. I'll probably do that more than the other ones. Let's give this a little, because I'm going to use this for a little bit. Don't mind my cat in the back. She's mad at me. She's in a timeout right now because she was getting into my stuff. Okay, so I have that one and I have the gold. And I'm just going to flip through and add a few different things. I wanted this to be more of a gold look, but there's some things that aren't really gold. They're more of a silver look. So I'm going to just add little touches here and there. You can hear my neighbors still in the background shoveling snow. Okay, so I'll just gently flip the pages so things don't get wet. This one I'm going to put a little bit of gold, and I'm not doing this everywhere, just every once in a while I am. Just a few little touches of gold in certain places. Okay, so there, it's very little, but it's there. Here, I'm going to add a little bit of silver around the berries. And this is one way to really just spruce up and add a little bit of life to some of your creations if you never use Wink of Stella. It's very similar to using stickles, but it's I guess a thinner way of doing things, plus it dries faster. These pens are great, and you can get them in an assortment of different colors, not just these ones. But this is just what I'm using for these creations. That one, no. This one I think I'm going to add a little something else still, but I haven't decided yet. This one I am going to add some silver to some of these. Actually, you know what? I'll add gold because these are like bells. But they do say silver bells, but I'm going to add a little bit of gold to here. I also have skates. So skates are silver look. Or maybe they're all skates. It's hard to tell. This looks like skates too. Okay, so leave that like that. This, there's some gold on here. So I'm going to speed up this process and add a little bit of music for you. And then that will be the end of this video probably, but you'll be able to see some of what I did. And you will get the next video coming up soon that is all the flip through. So you don't want to miss that. So make sure you hit that subscribe and the bell notification and like my videos if you like them. Thanks everybody. So that's all for now, friends. Come back next time when I show you the full flip through of our awesome little journal here for our Victorian Christmas. That will be part 3. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification and the like button if you enjoyed my videos. And we will hope to see you soon, and we have tons more coming. So keep watching. Thanks.